Hello, sir. What brings you to the assessment center today? So some of the symptoms we're looking for today are cough, shortness of breath, fever. Are you having any of those symptoms today? We are seeing a lot of allergy symptoms as well, that kind of mask, but we can't rule that out, right?
We asked them what symptoms did they come here with, or what was their reason for coming to the assessment center.
And what is the reason you typically hear?
So we see their family doctor sent them. They made a call to telehealth, and telehealth sent them here. The health unit also sends them here, or they came on their own because they're concerned or they have symptoms.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of symptomatic like public, and a lot of like symptomatic health workers as well. Symptomatic health workers and asymptomatic health workers that are like critical care and stuff like that have to go back to work.
Make sure you get in between your fingers, and then we're going to wait for those hands to dry. Once they're good and dry, I'm going to get you to take one of the yellow masks out of the box. You're going to pull it from the center, yellow side out, metal bar at the top. Make sure it goes over your ears.
Okay, so at this stage we'd be assessing the patient for any symptoms. So the most common symptoms we're assessing for would be if they have a fever, if they have a dry cough, shortness of breath, sore throat or runny nose, but we're also looking at other atypical symptoms, so any other symptoms they may be coming in with. At this time we'll also be taking the patient's vital signs, so the temperature, pulse, blood pressure if necessary, respiratory rate and our oxygen sats. And then we also want to know, does the patient have any pre-existing conditions, any comorbidities that we should know of? At this time, it's the assessor's responsibility to decide if we should have a secondary assessment at this time, which then we would put up this red flag, which would alert our nurse practitioner to come over and do a secondary assessment.
What we do is we ask more detailed questions. We perform a detailed assessment that can include listening to their heart, listening to their lungs. And as a team, collectively, we decide from there who we want to swab and who we don't want to swab based on the criteria. I think the most important thing is to know that if you develop a symptom that you don't usually have and can't explain, the very most important thing to do is to self-isolate no matter what.
So after we've decided that the patient meets the swabbing criteria, while they're waiting to be swabbed, we provide them with information on how to self-monitor, how to self-isolate at home, and also self-isolation guide for caregivers.
It takes more time to explain it. The actual swabbing itself just takes a matter of seconds. It's called a nasopharyngeal swab, so it goes in through the nostril and then to the very back of your throat there.
I think the major value is the ability to educate the public at large, give them peace of mind as to what they're doing and what they should be doing to prevent themselves from suffering from a COVID-19 episode, protect the public at large in that regard. And the more we get people coming through, the more confidence is going out into the public. So it's something that's extremely valuable.